My sister grinned as she handed me a garbage bag. Inside? My clothes shredded, my childhood photos burned, my diploma ripped in half. "You're not welcome anymore," she said. The worst part? That morning, I gave her my last paycheck so she could pay rent. That night, I slept behind a gas station. I never thought betrayal could come from someone whose diapers I used to change. My name's Kyle. I'm 26 now, but this all started when I was 25 and completely blind to just how toxic family could be. I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, raised by a single mom who spent most of her energy on my little sister, Emmy. Everyone said she was the delicate one, which was code for give her everything. Forget the boy. At 14, I was flipping burgers after school, while Emmy got ballet lessons and shiny birthday parties. At 18, I got into a local community college with a partial scholarship. Mom didn't give me a cent. "We're saving for Emmy's university," she said, not even trying to pretend otherwise. I should have seen it coming, right? But stupid me still trying to be the good son, the protector, the provider stuck around. When Mom passed away suddenly from a stroke, Emmy was barely 19. I was 23. I dropped out of school to support her. Got a job as a mechanic in a sketchy part of town. Worked 60 hours a week. Paid rent for both of us. She never said thanks. Fast forward 2 years. Emmy was now working as a receptionist and dating some smooth-talking wannabe rapper named Blaze. Yeah, I know. Sounds fake. It's not. The dude wore sunglasses indoors and had a neck tattoo that said "Poetry for Life." I kid you not. One night, I got home after a double shift and heard them in the living room, laughing, drinking. My unopened pack of Bud Light gone. My headphones broken on the couch. I tried to talk to her. "Hey, Emmy, can you tell your boyfriend to..." But she cut me off. "It's not your apartment, Kyle. You don't get to make rules." I stared at her. "Not my apartment. I was the one paying rent." "What? But I bit my tongue. I just wired her $400 the day before to help with a phone bill." Yeah, turns out that was a lie. I later learned she used it to buy Blaze a new gold chain with a fake diamond. Then came the real kicker. I was on my lunch break when I got a text from our landlord, Stan. "Hey, Kyle, sorry to hear you're moving out. Got your sister's notice this morning. I'll list the place next week." What? I nearly dropped my sandwich. I called Emmy. She didn't answer. I texted her. "Why did you tell the landlord we're moving out without asking me?" She replied, "Because we don't want you here anymore. Blaze and I are taking over the lease. You need to figure your own stuff out." Sorry, not sorry. I stared at my screen for 5 minutes, trying to process it. I rushed home. All the locks were changed. There was a black garbage bag on the porch with my name scrawled on it in Sharpie. Inside, my stuff. Slashed, soaked, and ruined. Emmy opened the door with a smug look. "You're not on the lease, Kyle. I checked. Legally, I can do this. You're a loser. Grow up." She slammed the door in my face. I sat on the curb, heart racing. I called friends, no one answered. I had no savings. I was broke, overworked, betrayed. That night, I slept behind a Chevron station. A raccoon tried to steal my shoes. I didn't stop it. I was too numb. But you know what they say, rock bottom has a basement. The next morning, I walked into work like nothing happened. My boss, Sam, saw my swollen eyes and torn hoodie. "You okay, man?" I lied. "Just tired." "You didn't buy it." Later that day, during a break, Sam cornered me. "You living in your car?" I shrugged. "Worse." He sighed. "You're a damn good mechanic, Kyle. My cousin runs a shop out in Baton Rouge. He's looking for a manager. Pays twice what you make here. Comes with housing. You want it?" I nearly cried, but something stopped me. Emmy's voice echoing in my head. "You're a loser." No, I wasn't going to run. Not yet. I had nothing. No home. No family. No dignity. But I had one thing left: revenge, and I was going to make her regret ever crossing me. Want to know how? Tell me this. If your own sibling stole your home, burned your memories, and threw you out like trash, what would you do? Would you walk away or strike back? Let me know in the comments, because I didn't walk away. Started plotting. And it only took me 3 days to find the perfect way in. 3 days. That's all I gave myself. 3 days to cry, to rage, to sit on park benches, eat dollar menu cheeseburgers, and hate myself for trusting the people who shared my blood. Then I got to work. First thing I did, Pulled my credit report. Why? Because I remembered something. Something Emmy screamed once during a fight last year. I wouldn't have A&Y credit if it weren't for you, Kyle. And oh boy, she wasn't kidding. She'd used my identity. Not just once. 4 credit cards. A Macy's account. And worst of all, she leased a Jeep in my name. A Jeep, y'all. I almost laughed. I was living behind a gas station while she was. Cruising around in a new Wrangler with pink seat covers and a Blaze Bay license plate. I felt my hands shaking. My temples throbbed. I had to sit down. That was fraud. Straight up. But instead of calling the cops, I played dumb. I called her. She picked up. What do you want, loser? I forced a calm voice. I need to pick up a few boxes I left behind. She scoffed. There's nothing left. Blaze took it all to Goodwill. Deep breath. Okay, no problem. By the way, how's the Jeep running? Silence. Then, why do you care? Oh, no reason. Just wondering what the cops will say when I filed a report for identity theft. Her voice cracked. You wouldn't. Oh, I would. And I hung up. 10 minutes later, I got a text from her. A photo. It was a crumpled piece of paper with some childish handwriting. She wrote, I'll pay it back. Don't ruin me. Please. Please? Oh, now she says please. I should have ignored it. I should have just gone straight to the cops. But part of me wanted more than justice. I wanted humiliation, and Emmy had one weakness. No. Not Blaze, their wedding. That's right. They were planning a full-on backyard wedding in 3 weeks. She hadn't told me because, well, I wasn't invited. But my old friend Lauren, who still followed Emmy on Instagram for the drama, sent me a screenshot of the save the date. That's when the idea hit me. Not petty. Not small. Massive. I drove to Baton Rouge and met Sam's cousin. Nice guy. Offered me the job on the spot. Gave me the keys to a small apartment above the shop. And I said, can I start in a month? He nodded. Sure. Perfect. I drove back to Jackson. I cleaned up. Borrowed a suit. Got my old phone fixed and pulled every photo I had of Emmy's fraudulent spending, including screenshots of the credit cards, bills, Jeep lease, all in my name. Then I created an anonymous Gmail account, weddingtruthdropper01@gmail.com. And I sent one email. Subject, before you say I do. Recipients? Her entire guest list. I attached every single piece of evidence. The Jeep, the credit cards, the eviction, the lockout. I added a little letter too. It read, Dear friends and family, before you raise a glass to the bride, please. No, she built her new life on theft, fraud, and betrayal. Her brother who paid her rent, fed her, supported her through their mother's death, was left homeless while she and Blaze lived off stolen credit. If this is who you want to celebrate, go ahead. But I thought you deserved to know. Send. Done. Then. I turned off my phone. When I turned it back on the next day, I had 43 missed calls. 3 from Emmy. 7 from Blaze. The rest? People I hadn't heard from in years. One voicemail stuck out. Dude, what the hell did you do? Her fiancé canceled the wedding. Blaze found out she lied about a loan too. He's gone. I smiled for the first time in weeks. Later that day, Emmy showed up at the mechanic shop, screaming like a banshee. You ruined my life. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, No, you did. She lunged at me. My boss had to pull her off. She sobbed in the parking lot, mascara running down her face like a horror movie. I watched her drive off in my Jeep. Did I feel bad? Not for a second, because guess what happened next? I finally filed that police report. The Jeep? Repossessed. The credit. Cards? Frozen. Emmy? Sued by 2banks. Hired, housed, and healing. But this story's not over yet, because Blaze wasn't quite done either. And when he came back into the picture, all hell broke loose. 2 weeks after the wedding imploded, I got a DM from someone I hadn't expected. Cologne Blaze. Yup, Mr. Poetry for Life himself. The message, Yo, I know what Emmy did, but you don't know the half of it. Call me. I stared at it for 10 minutes. I wanted to block him, laugh, ignore it. But curiosity won. I called. Yo, Kyle? He answered. Speak. He didn't waste time. Bro, I left her. Not cause of the email. I knew she was shady. But I didn't know she was psycho. I raised an eyebrow. What happened? She trashed my studio, man. Smashed my mic, poured. Bleach on my Beats laptop. Took my cat. She took your cat? Bro, my cat. I almost choked laughing. Then he got serious. She also told me some stuff about you. Stuff I think you should know. What kind of stuff? She's not done. Said she was going to get even. Said she still had your social. And that? You were the reason she lost everything. She's out for blood, man. I went cold. She still has my social. Yeah, she took pics of all your documents years ago. Has your license number, your birth certificate copy, all of it. Oh hell, no. I thanked him, hung up, and immediately put a fraud alert on all my accounts. Called Experian, froze my credit. Reported everything I could. I felt like I was living in a spy movie. Only the villain was my little sister, but it didn't. Stopped there. 3 days later, my new boss called me into the office. He looked pale. We got a call from someone pretending to be from the IRS. Said you were under investigation for tax fraud. I blinked. What? He nodded. They asked if we could send over your employment documents. I felt my blood pressure spike. I swear, I didn't. He held up a hand. I believe you. But be careful. Whoever this is, they're trying to ruin you. I walked out of that office shaking. She was really trying to destroy me, after everything I'd done for her, So I did something I never thought I'd do. I contacted our dad, Now. This man walked out on us when I was 6 and Emmy was barely a year old. We hadn't seen him since. But I found his Facebook. He was living in a trailer park in Alabama with a new wife and 3 stepkids. I sent him a message. Hi, your daughter is trying to ruin my life. Again? Want to help? He replied the next day. Turned out, Emmy had messaged him too, begging for money. Playing the victim. Claimed I was a jealous narcissist who sabotaged her wedding because I was obsessed with her. Sick, right? Our dad was no hero, but he had some conscience left. He agreed to send me a signed statement confirming she had used my identity in the past. It wasn't much, but it helped solidify my fraud report. Then came the real kicker. I got a call from Detective Larson from the Financial Crimes Division. I'd like to ask you some questions about your sister. Music to my ears. I told her everything. The stolen credit, the eviction, the threats. The email didn't bother her. Public humiliation isn't a crime, but the financial stuff. Oh yeah, that was serious. Can you provide evidence? She asked. Give me 30 minutes. I sent it all. The case opened officially the next day. And I thought, finally, it's over. But I was wrong, got so wrong. Because Emmy? She wasn't done. She posted a video on TikTok. Crying, sobbing, saying I abused her, that I stole her car, that I manipulated Blaze into leaving her. She even called me dangerous. It got 200K views in a day. People started messaging me. Strangers were calling me names, telling me to die, that I was a sick freak. I couldn't believe it. She flipped the narrative, made me the villain. I thought about going online to defend myself, but what good would that do? Screenshots don't go viral. Tears do. So I stayed quiet. But then, Blaze did something insane. He posted a reaction video. Title: The Truth About Emmy from Her Ex-Fiance. And holy hell. It blew up. He spilled everything. How she forged my signature. How she lied to his face. How she bragged about trashing her loser brother's life. And best of all, he ended with, Kyle, wherever you are, I hope you're good, man. You didn't deserve any of this. Mike dropped her TikTok, deleted her fake crying, exposed. Suddenly, people started turning on her. But did she stop? Nope. She did something even dumber. She tried to get a job at the same auto shop where I now worked. Walked in with a fake resume and a fake name. Except the manager recognized her. Wait, you're that girl from TikTok, right? She bolted out the door. Left her fake resume behind. With my social security number on it. That was the final nail. Detective Larson called the next day. We're moving forward with charges. I sat in silence. It was over. Or so I thought, because there's one last twist, and it hit me like a freight train. 3 days after Detective Larson told me charges were moving forward, I got a letter. A plain white envelope. No return address. My name scrawled in shaky handwriting. Inside, a photo of me and Emmy. I was 12. She was 8. We were sitting on the porch of our old house, eating popsicles. I hadn't seen that photo in years. Taped to the back was a sticky note. 4 words. Don't forget. She won't. I froze. Who the hell sent this? My first instinct was Emmy, but she didn't do cryptic. She did explosive, dramatic, messy. This was quiet. Personal. I turned the envelope over again. Nothing. No stamp. No postmark. Which meant Someone delivered it by hand. I checked the building security cam footage. One grainy clip showed a figure in a hoodie slipping something into the mailbox at 3:17 a.m. Tall, thin, limping their right leg. That wasn't Emmy. So who the hell? The next morning, my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. A voice I hadn't heard in 10 years said, "Kyle?" My stomach dropped. "Mom?" No, God, it couldn't be. She was dead. I saw her body. I buried her. I paid for the casket. What the hell? Wait, who is this? The voice hesitated. "Kyle, it's Aunt Donna. I raised Emmy after your mom passed. You probably don't remember me, but we need to talk." I sat down hard. Aunt Donna had vanished from our lives when I was a teen. Rumor was she had a breakdown and went off grid. I didn't even know she was alive. She sounded tired, raspy. "Kyle, Emmy's sick. Like, really sick. I don't know what's gotten into her, but she's spiraling. She showed up at my trailer last week, screaming, crying, saying everyone betrayed her. She's obsessed with you. Keeps talking about how you ruined her future." I clenched my jaw. "Donna, she's been trying to destroy my life." "I know. I believe you. That's why I'm warning you." She paused. "Have you checked your car?" I shot up, ran outside, and stopped dead. My tires. All four. Slash. Windshield. Smash. The words, "Back off," scrawled across the hood in bright red paint. My neighbors came out to stare. One whispered, "Dude, who hates you this much?" I didn't answer. I knew. And that's when it hit me. This wasn't just about revenge. This was obsession. She didn't want to just ruin me. She wanted to erase me. The cops came, took photos, filed a report. Detective Lawson looked furious. "This confirms escalation. We'll file for a restraining order, and I'll push to have her picked up this week." But deep down, I knew Emmy wasn't going to jail quietly. Sure. Enough that night, I got another call from Blaze. "Kyle, man. She just showed up at my apartment." "What?" "She had a knife, bro. Screaming about how you turned everyone against her." I locked myself in the bathroom and called 911. I rubbed my face. This is insane. They arrested her right outside my place. Kicking, biting, spitting at the cops. Said she was going to burn every bridge and take us all down. I sat on the floor, staring at nothing. Was this really my sister? The same girl I walked to school with? The one I shared Raymond with when we were broke? Where did she go? Or was she always like this, and I just refused to see it? Let me ask you something honestly. If your siblings snapped like this, if they went off the deep end and came after you like an enemy, could you still call them family? Could you ever forgive? What would you do? Would you fight back or cut the cord forever? Because I thought I was strong, but that night, I cracked. Cried in the shower until the water turned cold. I dug out old photos of us at the zoo, at birthdays, Halloween. All lies now. I didn't sleep. The next morning, I checked the news. The headline made my stomach twist. Local woman arrested after violent outburst, mental evaluation pending. Emmy's mugshot was everywhere. Disheveled, makeup smeared, eyes wild. It didn't look like her. It looked like someone possessed. But then, another headline dropped, and it was worse. Accused fraud suspect. Claims brother lied, says she took the fall for his debt. The article quoted her from the back of the police car. "He ruined my life. He's the one who took out those cards. I covered for him. He set me up." I threw my phone. She was rewriting the story again, playing the victim, turning the whole thing upside down, and people were starting to believe her. Her TikTok reignited, sympathy posts. People saying I look too clean to be the victim. That maybe I provoked her. Unreal. Freaking real. But I wasn't about to roll over. So I made a choice. One last move. The nuclear option. It involved someone I hadn't spoken to in years. But if it worked, it would end this forever, and no one would ever question the truth again. I knew exactly who to call. Jules. We hadn't spoken in years. She was my ex, the only woman I ever loved. She left me after my mom died, said I was too distant, too numb, too closed off. She wasn't wrong, but she had one thing going for her. She was Emmy's godmother. And Emmy worshipped her. I didn't want to call, but I had no choice. "Hey," I said when she picked up. Long pause. "Kyle? Yeah, listen, this is going to sound insane." She interrupted. "I know." That threw me off. "You know," she sighed, "I've seen the videos. The mugshot. The TikToks. People have been tagging me. Kyle, what the hell happened to her? I told her. Everything. By the end, she was silent. Then, you're right. She needs to be stopped. I exhaled. She continued. You want me to talk to her? No, I said. I want you to record her. That caught her off guard. Record? She still trusts you. You're the only one she ever listened to. She's going to spin her story to you. If you can get her to admit what she did, I can shut this down forever. Publicly. Jules hesitated. You want me to bait her? No, I said. I want you to end this. 2 days later, Jules visited Emmy at the Psychiatric Evaluation Center. She went in with a small mic clipped under her hoodie. Recording everything, I waited. 3 hours passed. Then Jules called. I got it, she said, breathless. She spilled everything. She admitted the fraud, the wedding lie, the Social Security stuff. Even bragged about trashing your car. My heart pounded, and she said, this was the only way she could ever make you pay for stealing the family spotlight. What the hell does that even mean? I muttered. She's jealous, Kyle, Jules said quietly. She's always been jealous of you. I nearly laughed. Jealous of me? I lived in a car. You survived, she replied. That's what she can't stand. The next morning, I packaged the audio, along with Emmy's emails, photos, credit reports, and police statements. I created one final anonymous YouTube upload. Title, My Sister Tried to Destroy My Life. Here's the proof. In the video, I played the audio. No faces. Just Jules' calm questions, Emmy's manic responses. Thousands watched it within hours. Then millions. It trended on Twitter. Reddit picked it up. So did news outlets. Viral TikTok villain exposed, real victim speaks out. Suddenly, everything flipped. People started apologizing. Brands that had sponsored her deleted her from campaigns. The sympathy TikToks? Gone. She became internet poison. And asked for me. The lawsuit was dropped. My credit was restored. The restraining order was approved. And Emmy? She was committed, diagnosed with a borderline personality disorder, and placed in a long-term care facility. I didn't smile. I didn't celebrate. I sat alone in my apartment that night, staring out the window, wondering when I stopped feeling like a brother and started feeling like a stranger. Was there ever a moment I could have saved her? Or was this always the ending? I'll never know. But I do know this. Sometimes the worst monsters come dressed as family. And when you finally fight back, no one claps. No one cheers. They just stare at the wreckage and ask, how did it get this bad? But you? You know, because you lived it. And you survived. 6 months passed. No phone calls. No text. Just silence. It was the first time in my life I'd ever felt free from her. I got promoted at the shop. Started going to therapy. Bought a secondhand truck. Even adopted a pit mix named Radar who barked at squirrels like they owed him money. Life was stable. But stability is boring. And trauma doesn't just disappear. It waits like a shadow behind your eyes. And one day, mine came crashing back in the form of a handwritten letter. From Emmy. It arrived without warning. The handwriting was still that same childish, loopy scrawl she used on birthday cards. I stared at it for a full hour before opening it. Inside was one sentence. You'll always be the villain in my story. That's it. No apology. No regret. Just venom. I nearly ripped it in half, but I didn't. I folded it, put it in a box with her old photos, the mugshot, and the court documents. Labeled it The Pass, and shoved it into the back of my closet. Days later, Jules called. I think you need to see this, she said. I groaned. What now? She escaped. I froze. What? She was on a field trip with her therapy group. Grocery store run, slipped away in the parking lot. My throat went dry. They say she's not dangerous, Jules added quickly. But Kyle. She took her file. Her file? Everything. Notes, plans, observations, even drawings. That night, I didn't sleep. I installed 2 more locks on my door, set up security cams. I checked the windows twice. 3 days passed. Then came the bang. My front window smashed. A rock, wrapped in paper. It landed on my couch. I ran outside. No one. There. The paper said, you took everything. Now I'll take what matters most. My heart sank. Radar, and I sprinted to the backyard. He was gone. The gate opened. My lungs collapsed. I screamed until my voice cracked. Then I heard it. Bark. Faint. From the woods behind my building. I ran. Branches slapped my face. Thorns ripped my arms. I didn't stop. Then I saw her dot standing in the clearing, holding Radar by the collar. Her hair was wild. Her eyes dead. You made me a monster, she whispered. Let him go, Emmy, I said, voice shaking. You made me this, she screamed. You chose the world over me. I stepped forward slowly. I chose myself, I said. I was your world. She snapped. She let go of Radar and pulled out a lighter, held it to her coat. I in it now. You want to be the hero? Go ahead. Watch your sister burn. I didn't think. I tackled her to the ground. The lighter flew from her hand. Radar barked like a maniac, circling us. She screamed, bit, fought, but I held her until she stopped, until she sobbed until she collapsed into a heap of shaking bones and broken childhood dreams. The police came. They took her away again. But this time, there was no trial. No media circus. Just a long-term psychiatric facility with no phones, no visitors, no mirrors. And this time, I didn't flinch. I didn't wonder if I was the bad guy. I just walked away. Because here's the thing no one tells you. Sometimes, saving yourself means letting someone else drown. It's not heroic. It's not pretty. But it's survival. Let me ask. You something honestly if someone you loved once stood in front of you? Broken, dangerous, threatening to end it all. Unless you gave up everything. Would you walk away? Or would you stay and risk being dragged down with them? Tell me, what would you do? A month later, I stood at my mom's old grave. I placed a flower on the cracked stone. Then I pulled something from my pocket. Emmy's letter. I lit it, watched it burn. The ash. The wind carried it across the cemetery, like the last whisper of a dying nightmare. And for the first time in years, I didn't look back. That's the end of today's story. Did things turn out the way you thought? Or were there some surprises along the way? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't joined the community yet, now's the perfect time. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you're always the first to catch new stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.